Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of Straight Talk Whiskey. I'm Nick, as always, and thanks for tuning in for episode number 46. Now we're all decked out here for the holiday season, and we hope you're enjoying yours as well. And today we're going to be reviewing the Woodford Reserve Distillery's Select. So, let's get right into it. Some of the things that I really liked about this, and why I picked up the bottle. First of all, we've got a little bit of information about what's in it. Surprise, surprise. So we've got batch number, bottle number in here if you're playing along at home. Batch number 1026, bottle 2610. Whatever that means to you. So bottled at 45.2% ABV, which is great. You get a nicely priced bourbon. I got this for $38, $42. I bought this a while ago, so it's been some time. So a little bit over 90 proof. It's really nice for a whiskey like this, but also what makes it unique is that because Woodford Reserve is owned by Brown-Forman, they use some of that column distilled whiskey from Brown-Forman, but also at the Woodford Reserve Distillery, distill their whiskey in copper pot stills. Yep, a little bit different than most folks out there in bourbon country. So definitely adds unique flavors to this, which is just exceptional. And if you're looking for a little bit of variety, you know, hey, it's the holiday season again. If you're looking for something to get, family member, friend, that sort of thing, coworker, this might be an interesting sort of twist if they haven't had this before. It's really, really interesting. So, color, what do we know? Well, first of all, I'll just say, there is no age statement on here. Now, in looking into this a little bit further, the Woodford Reserve folks, if you will, say that they don't base their whiskey on age, they base it on taste. And so that's the reason for that. So, hey, if it tastes good, you know, in times of bourbon shortages and whiskey shortages and wood shortages for barrels over in Scotland, Ireland, in other places, quality of the whiskey is definitely what we're trying to grab onto if we can't get an age statement out of it. So, color, pretty typical standard, a little golden amberish, really nice. It's going for the nose. Definitely has a very heavy nose to it. It feels very rooted, very deep, very saturated. But what you're getting in terms of picking apart different scents that you might get out of it, there's definitely some fruit in there, definitely some orange that I'm getting in there, some dried fruit as well. But there's a real light, sort of zesty orange flavor to it. It's really interesting, like fresh squeezed orange juice is definitely what I'm getting out of there. And of course you have the traditional vanilla, toasted wood, cinnamon, a little bit of nutmeg in there. But something that's also interesting on the sort of lighter, more fragrant notes is that I'm getting out of this sort of like green tea leaves, which is just interesting in and of itself. Green tea is sort of a minty tea flavor going on in there, scent rather. And then what I'm also getting is a tobacco smoke in there. So definitely complex nose, definitely full-bodied, very saturated like I said. Let's go in for the taste. That is just phenomenal. What you're getting at first pass are the vanilla notes, the heavily charred new American white oak barrels. That is definitely in there. Nice char that you can taste. You can taste sort of that charcoal sense to it. The mouthfeel is sort of chewy, so you do get the support of those flavor profiles, but definitely the tobacco leaf in there. But also, just like in the nose, there are more of these dried fruits. The orange that I mentioned in the nose is definitely there. It's just strange. There's definitely a honey note in there for sure. Lemon. It's got a little zest, a little tardiness to it on the end of the journey there. But really interesting because the nose felt like it was going to be a heavier whiskey in terms of the flavor and that sort of thing. Sort of like the old Granddad 114 proof that we reviewed a little while ago. Just something that's heavy. It's got some meat to it. Not to say that this doesn't, but I think the Copper Pot Still whiskey that is in here is definitely shining through. And it doesn't detract from it at all because, like I said, it's still supported by the toasted wood, the vanilla. A little bit of brown sugar in there too. Just nice. This is a very full-bodied, just the complete package that you're looking for in a whiskey. The finish is just great. It's nice and smooth. Like I said, it plays into sort of the mouthfeel of the chewiness in the sense that it does last for a while. Ooh, long-lasting. This is another thing that you could add a little bit of water to and see if something changes. But to that end, I will say that if you are somebody who is just getting into drinking whiskeys, and bourbon in particular, if you're shying away a little bit from these higher proof alcohols because you think that you might just get blasted with the alcohol burn, really, that might not be the case here. Now, don't take my word for it that that's going to be the case when you try it. But at 45.2% and having some of that real pure, flavorful, just really nice Copper Pot Still contact makes a really nice, refined, palatable whiskey that's in there, mixed in with the Column Still whiskey, of course. But something that I think, upon first pass, you could probably drink in sips without any water added to it. You know, I don't think it's going to detract at all. So let's go in for one more pass, see if we left anything out. Just like I said, you know, these same sort of things. Just a wonderful balance in there. It's definitely something great for, it's not necessarily cold here, but, you know, a nice winter's night, reading a book, listening to music, something like that. I will definitely come back to this sort of just as an enjoyable sipping whiskey. It's just great. So, for a score, because, you know, if you watch regularly that I sometimes miss a score, because they're all subjective, right? I'm going to give it a 94 out of 100. If you've had some of the other Woodford Reserve whiskeys out there, and there are a ton of other ones, let me know. Let me know if there's any that are worth, you know, really seeking after. I'm sure they're all good in and of itself, but just let me know if there's something that really stands out that I should definitely go for. So, for episode number 46 in Straight Talk Whiskey, thanks, and we'll see you next week. If you're going to drink responsibly, as always, and cheers.